introduction.
Hello everyone, this is Kitty, my daughter, one of the knitting orphans, the youngest of the knitting orphans, and she's the one that set me this challenge because we were having a conversation and she was talking about how I ought to put stuff on TikTok. And I don't understand what TikTok is and what it does, but she said that younger people, they put things on TikTok, and I said about how a lot of young people are getting into knitting at the moment because they're using really thick yarns and really thick needles. And I said, oh, well, if you've got yarn that size and needles that size, I can knit a jumper in a day. And Kitty said, yeah, go on then. Yeah, why don't you?
Yeah, I've seen loads of people on TikTok and they can get 1 million views so easily just on knitting something like a scarf, can't they, Dad? And you're there like...
Yeah.
1 million views for that, but I think, it's also appealed to beginners as well because that's where a lot of people are starting out. And if you can do that in a day...
Well,
once they have the skill.
Yeah, well, we're yet to see whether I can do it in a day. Kitty doesn't know the answer. I do know the answer because what you're going to see in this video is me trying to make something in a day.
Well, yeah, it's going to challenge you technically as well.
Yeah, it is because the other thing that I know what happens, but I normally, when I knit something like a vest, I normally knit to the body, so I'm trying it on the person. But this time, Kitty wasn't available, so
I had an approximate.
Sorry?
Yeah, you had an approximate.
I had an approximate, and it was based on my other daughter, Pansy. She'd recently done some photographs of my red fair isle jumper, and I said to Kit, "Oh, are you roughly the same size as Pansy?" So I used the red fair isle jumper as a guide. Kitty said yes.
Yeah, and I also said I wanted it a bit oversized as well.
Yeah, which was slightly oversized. Yeah, so
and sweater vests are in at the moment, girls my age. Everyone's wearing them. See them all the time over Instagram.
Yeah.
And in Vogue.
Oh, are they? I don't know.
They're in Vogue at the moment. It's all workwear and blazers with a big oversized sweater vest.
Yeah.
That's what everyone's wearing.
Right.
So you're right on trend currently.
There you go. See, I always thought I was right on trend.
Yeah, you are.
I didn't realise.
It's come back around, Dad. And it will probably go away and come back around again.
Yeah. And I'll still be here, plodding away, little old man.
Relevant again.
Yeah. Anyway, what I'll do is at the end of this video, hopefully get Kitty to try it on and see if she likes it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll cut there.
Bye.
Okay, so it's 9 o'clock in the morning and I'm going to try and knit a vest, and the vest is roughly going to be the same size as this red vest, and I'm going to try and knit it in a day. And this all came about when I was talking to my daughter Kitty, and I was saying that with the thick yarns and the thick needles that people use these days, you could potentially knit a vest in a day. And she said, well, do it then. So I'm having to put my money where my mouth is, and it's not something that I'd normally do because normally when I knit something it takes weeks, 6 weeks or something, but I'm going to try and do it. It's a bit of a late start. I'd like to have started earlier, but it might mean a late night for me. So I've got this ball of yarn here ready, so I thought the idea might be it would be a good stash buster as well. So I've put a load of yarn that I won't really use for any other projects in there, and I've got this this big ball of acrylic, and I did this little swatch here just to get an idea of sizing. So I know that with these needles, and I think that these are 9mm needles, and I'm running 4 lengths of yarn together, and they're like DK weight yarns. So I'm running 4 DK weight yarns together on 9mm needles, and that's giving me my 3 stitches to the inch. So I've just done a quick sketch to try and, I mean, I will improve on this, and then this will be a free pattern. Hopefully at the end of this video I will give you the free pattern, or at least make it available to download online for free. The first thing is that this jumper measures approximately, it's a little less. Now Kitty's asked for something oversized, and I will show you at some point today the photo that she sent to me, and it is very oversized, the thing that she sent to me. So it may not be, but this will still be loose on her. So it's 3 stitches to an inch, that's 20 inches. 3 times 20 is 60. So I'm going to knit the front and back separately, so I've got to cast on 60 inches. Joe, can you just, have you got the clock in already? If you haven't, can you just show everyone what time it is, and then in a minute I'll start casting on. Okay. Thanks, Joe. I've got lots of coffee here. Are you still running? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to start casting on. Well, people don't need to see me cast on. I'm doing a standard knitting cast on, and this is a bit of fun for me really, because obviously my knitting takes so long, and since we started the YouTube channel I've been complaining sort of every day really, haven't I, Joe, that I'm never getting any knitting done nowadays. So I'm just casting on, knitted cast on. I haven't left enough towel there really, but I'm sure it'll be okay. Pull it through. Oh, start again, Gary. So I'm just doing a knitted cast on. So when I was a kid and my mum taught me to knit, it was the mantra was in, round, through, off. But the mantra for casting on is in, round, through, on. Or there's a little twist in it when you do the knitted cast on. So it's in, round, through, twist, on. In, round, through, twist, on. In, round, through, twist, on. Okay, I'm going to do some counting now, so I'm going to count 60 stitches, and I'll see you in a bit. Thanks. Okay, it's 9:15 and I've done 4 rows. And I've just come in to check it against what I'm using as my template, and as you can see I'm 2 or 3 inches over. Well, I mean, although Kitty did say she wants it oversized, I think that might be too oversized, and also that's a lot of extra knitting for me. So what I'm going to do is I am now going to adjust my stitch numbers and start again. So I'm going to take all this off the needles. I mean, better that I start now than you know, get further along. I've only lost something like 20 minutes. So yeah, I'm going to have a recount, and then I'm going to cast on again. So I'm just pulling these off, pulled it off the needles because I'm going to start again. I'm sure when it gets to the end of the day and I need 20 minutes, I'm going to regret this, but what I've decided, I just had a quick check, and I think I might go to, instead of 60 stitches, I'm going to cast on 50. So I'll start again. Thanks, Joe. So we're about an hour in on this project. What is it called, Joe? Challenge. And I'm happy with that width. So it's getting on for 10 o'clock, is it, Joe?
Yeah.
I'm going to put a movie on. I've just been watching a few YouTube videos, a few knitting YouTube videos, and we're going to put a nice old film on. So I think we're putting on Howard's End, aren't we, Joe? With Helena Bonham Carter from the 80s, I suppose it is. It might be early 90s. Anyway, we're just about to watch that, and I just thought I'd update you on my progress. I'll probably know better by 11 o'clock, you know, how much I'm knitting an hour, because of that false start. That's put me back a little bit. And Mrs. Smith just made me a lovely fruit porridge for breakfast, so I've just eaten that as well, so I lost a bit of time there. But apart from that, I am I shouldn't be talking to you lot, really. I should just be cracking on and just knitting, because, you know, I think when I get to the end of the day. So the weather today is horrible outside. It's been sort of rainy all morning, so it's nice that I'm inside doing this, and me and Mrs. Smith are watching Howard's End. I think we might watch some more Merchant Ivory today as well, make it or a Helena Bonham Carter day. Anyway, that's where I'm up to, and it's what, 11 o'clock, so I'm 2 hours into this challenge and scaling it up. I think it's touch and go whether I'm going to make it. I don't know. I really don't know. I lost what, half an hour? Did I lose half an hour, Joe, to the oversizing it? So I'm an hour and a half in. So but maybe sort of in an hour, maybe about lunchtime, we might be able to gauge if I might do this challenge in a day. Are you filming first? Okay. So, shall I knit while are you filming already? So it's what, it's getting on 11:30. So I was thinking when I started doing this, I was thinking if I start at 9 and then do 12 hours and finish at 9, I can have it done by then. And I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, oh, no, because if I start at 9, by 12 o'clock, I'd want to be a quarter of the way there. So I'd have to be halfway up the front. Well, I'm not halfway up the front. So I'm now saying to Joe, I might have to have a late night. I normally go to bed about 9 or 10 o'clock, but I'm gonna keep going and try to go through. Joe's coughing and spluttering, and she thinks it's all the fibre from the wool, and I have been using some sort of quite fibrous yarn, and so she's going to go and take an antihistamine now, and I'm just going to keep on going, and it's tough. It's really, I think it's. When I started, I thought I'll do it easy, but. I mean, now I'm beginning to think, I know in the loft somewhere I've got some thicker needles, some plastic thicker needles, and I really didn't want to use plastic needles, and but they would have been like 12 millimeters rather than these 9, so you know it would have knitted it up a little bit quicker, but yeah, now I'm thinking, I'm not going to do it. But it's still exciting. I'm really excited by this. It's not called a project, Joe.
Challenge.
What's it called? By this challenge. And my fingers are starting to get a little bit sore. Not massively yet, but I'm sure by the end of the day, my fingers, I'm going to have plasters on my fingers and blisters and God knows what. Maybe I'll even be bleeding, Joe.
Oh, how dramatic.
Anyway, I'll speak to you in a bit. Okay. So we've moved the clock back in here because I wanted to come back in here just to show you how the size is coming on really. So if you go down there, Joe, you can see that it's almost exactly the same size as the template that I'm working from. What did I do with my phone? And I also want to show you whilst we're here another couple of things. One, this was what Kitty sent me through. I don't know if that will film very well. That's what Kitty sent me through, like an oversized vest. And I was like, well, I don't want to spend a week knitting it. I want to knit it in a day. So I made some suggestions and I was thinking more like that kind of size really. So potentially something like that. Just trying to, yeah. I've got a lot of things on here, or maybe that. And I did talk about a round neck or a V-neck because I was going to do a round neck for a change. And Kitty said she wanted a V-neck, but Joe thinks I ought to do it as a round neck. But I can draw both. I've just got to make a decision, that's all. And the other thing that I wanted to show you was this morning, whilst Joe was asleep, because I woke up full of energy really early this morning and wanted to get started, but I didn't want to wake Joe up because it was a day off from looking after children this morning. So I waited until she woke up naturally. But while she was asleep, I just put together this pile of, it's just odds really. But also there's a lot of tapestry walls in there, and I thought that would be great to sort of mix those in. I did buy them thinking that I would knit with them, but I've never got round to it. So I've just got a lot of sort of odds in there, and some of it I'll use and some of it, but it's nice to have some of it I won't, but it's nice to have a nice big selection. So there we are. So it is 10 to 12 and I'm that far. So I'd hope to be there now, but obviously I lost some time earlier and then I've had breakfast as well, but
Well, a day is 24 hours.
Oh, don't start on that. I go to bed at 9, 10 o'clock, I get tired. I'm not young anymore, Joe. Okay, so it's 2 o'clock and we've just had, I'm not allowed to say spot of lunch, am I, Joe?
No.
We've just had a little bit of lunch, not a spot. And so I've lost about half an hour to lunch and I'm nearly up to the armholes. Just wanted to show you where I was in comparison. And I'm thinking now potentially about doing just straight at the top here, not angling the shoulders, so coming up straight and then going back down the other side, so make it all in one and then just sew along these sides, and that might be quicker, less thinking I think. So that's the intention at the moment. Okay, back to work. Okay, so I'm up to the armholes. I'm going to make it slightly smaller than the red jumper because if you've seen pictures of my daughter Pansy in the red jumper, it goes right down to her hips. I'm probably an inch smaller, that's all. So I'm probably going to cast off now. I'm thinking I've just cast off 3, and then the next row I'll probably just cast off another 2, and then I was thinking about the next row 2, and then the next row 1, and then the next row. So in total I'll have cast off 9 stitches, giving me that curve there. And I'm going to do the armhole shaping before I start the V. Normally I probably do them at the same time, but just to make my life easier and quicker, I'm going to worry about the armhole shaping and then I'll do the V. I'll show you at that point.
So you're still doing a V?
I'm thinking of doing a V because Kitty wanted a V. The reason that she was saying a V is because the kind of a retro vintage V-neck vest is quite trendy at the moment.
But nothing else would be quicker.
I can do it round or a V, whatever you want. It doesn't make any difference. but Kitty's asked for a V. So before I come to the
Time check.
Okay. So before I come to that, if you want to phone Vicky, if you want to phone Kitty and just check that I can do either. They're both as easy as each other. So you give her a ring now, and then next time we do an update, we'll let you know. Okay. In actual fact, I ended up going 3, 2, 1, 1. So I reduced it by 3, and then 2, and then 1, and then 1. And I'm just going to do the last one on this side, and that's both sides done. And then I'm going to create the V. So I will count the stitches, and just to create the V for starters, I'll knit 2 together either side of the V, and then I'll attach another piece of strands of 4 yarn. I'll show you that in a second. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, so I'm just going to knit those 2 together. So I've identified where the centre is. I'm just knitting those 2 together there, and now I'm going to join in on that side some new yarn. So I just prepared these 4, so I've just got 4 bits of yarn there to run together. And I'm going to knit 2 together, so that's wrong. Do that. That's my first stitch. I'm going to knit all these in as I go, get rid of the ends. Not all the way, just set 2. Okay, so that is the centre of the V created there with the armholes there. Now I've got to lose, I'm going to lose 18 stitches between there and there, so 9 stitches on each row. So what I'm going to do now is at the beginning of every other row, I will lose a stitch until I've got to 9, and then I'll go straight till I've lost the 9. Okay, hope that makes sense. Anyway, I might cut that bit out. Okay. Hi Joe, so we are 4:30, and I'm that far, so not even halfway yet, and I am feeling tired. I mean, I know if I am going to finish it today, it's going to be a really late night. So, yeah, I'm just plodding on. We watched all of Howard's End. That was lovely. Joe saw some knitted. I better carry on while I'm talking, really, because I'm right up against it time-wise. Joe saw some lovely sort of Edwardian knitwear in there that she liked, and she was saying, oh, I'd really like that. And I was thinking, I don't want to ever hold a knitting needle ever again. But for someone that it's been really hard, because I've really felt the need to want to knit since we started the YouTube channel. I've really wanted to knit more, but it does take up a lot of your time, and what with work and just family stuff and everything, it's been really hard to get any knitting done. So to do something like this, which is really intense knitting from nowhere, and also it's not, because I'm just doing plain knitting, it's not that interesting to me. I prefer, I think, to see a picture evolve, But I suppose in a way it's interesting because, you know, I still don't know whether I can do it, whether I'm going to make it in time. And it's also interesting because, you know, I'm having to create the shape. And I've never done something where I've knitted it all in one piece and then just sewn up the sides before. So it's all an unknown. And it's fun in that regard. And we're just watching what's his name, Joe? Ryan Gosling film now, which is okay. It's a sci-fi film, but I think I might go back to watching something more historical after this. But it looks like it could be a late night. Okay, so it might be a very late night. I don't know, because I don't stay up late anymore. You know, I can't. You know, even New Year's Eve, I'm like in bed by 9 o'clock. So, yeah, it's. I'm not looking forward to it, but I will just keep going.
Go.
It's 5:20, Joe. 5:20, and I've just tried this on Joe. You just shown the clock. I've just tried this on Joe, and I think I can start to bring the back of the neck in. I'm not going to do much shaping really. I'm just going to add a couple of stitches here and a couple of stitches that side, and then on the next row I'm going to go right the way across. So yeah, that's it, and I'm going to start working down the back. So I'm halfway at 5:20. So I've been going since 9 o'clock. So I've done 8 hours and 20 minutes. So if I do the back in another 8 hours, 20 minutes, that will put me at, I don't know.
She's so tired.
From five plus 8.
It's about 1 o'clock in the morning.
No, it's 2:40. I'll get finished about 3 o'clock in the morning.
I'm not filming you then.
Well, I'm going to wake you up for the end of it. Don't worry. Okay. Hi. So yeah, the time's 6:10. I added a couple for a couple of rows, and then I cast on 6 there. So yeah, I filled the gap back up. So now I'm going to work down the other side of here, and yeah, while Joe's cooking me some dinner. Thanks, Joe. Okay. So it's what is it? 5:07. We've just finished dinner, and I thought I'd do an update where I am now. So I'm just coming down the back. So yeah, normally I'd be going to sleep in 2 hours, but I don't think I will be tonight, Joe. What? It's all right for you. I bet you'll be in bed at 9 o'clock.
And it's a V-neck, isn't it? We did say
yeah,
that.
it's a V-neck, yeah. Anyway, I'll plod on. And today has gone so fast, actually. I can't believe how quickly the time's gone. And you know, normally when you're knitting, I've never knitted against the clock before, really, and so it's a completely new thing for me. But the days whiz past. I can't believe, you know, I do a couple of rows and I look at the clock and an hour's gone by. So yeah, I'm still hoping that I can get it finished before I fall asleep, because I am prone to fall asleep on the sofa in the evenings. You will, you're that. But I think what we're going to do is when Jo goes to bed, she's going to set the alarm for an hour or something, and then just come down and check on me, check I'm still knitting, because I'm not going to get it done in the next 2 or 3 hours.
No, you might get it done by midnight.
I might get it done by midnight. We'll see. Yeah, yeah. You on?
Mm-hmm.
What time is it, Jo?
10 to 9.
10 to 9.
12 hours then.
Yeah, my 12 hours is just coming up, yeah. My knuckles hurt. My knuckles really hurt. So I've added the extra stitches. And so I am there. So I've still got quite a lot. I've still got all of that to do. I think I'm going to struggle, I really do. But there you go. Got to keep trying, haven't you?
Self-inflicted.
Well, yeah, stupid idea, wasn't it? Really, whose stupid idea was it? Oh, it was mine. Thanks, Joan.
Okay.
It's was it nearly 10? Is it? Nearly 10. And that's where I am. My knuckles are hurting. It's my knuckles that are giving way, really. But I still want to do it. But I'm contemplating going to bed. Okay, what do I say then? Okay. So, what time is it, Joe? Nearly 10.
Close to 10.
Quarter to 10. I'm still going. I've got that much done, so I've still got quite a big lump to do.
Put it out because you can't really see it.
So don't want to lose all my stitches off of there, do I? I don't know what's going on. Right, there we are. So I don't know if you can see it from that. So I've got a fair amount to do. Yeah, struggling a bit. It's the knuckles on my fingers that hurt. But apart from that, yeah, and I'm tired. Yeah, but that's because I'm lightweight. Yeah, plod on, innit? What we watching, Joe?
A Life After Life.
Life After Life. Yeah, we're on episode.
Kate Atkinson.
Yeah, we've watched through at the end of the second episode. It's very good. Yeah. It's quite big. It's quite big. Yeah, it weighs quite a bit. And it's 10 to 12, so we've been going for now, 15 hours. So it's 15 hours worth of knitting there. But I do feel like I'm on the home stretch, and I'll get it done before 9 o'clock in the morning, which will be my end of my 24-hour stint. So I'm still going. No, I've been watching Flora Day. Are you filming? Hello. Last night, the last clip that Joe filmed, after that, I got so tired and I just had to go to bed. But I thought, well, I've still got time because, it's a one-day challenge. And I was sitting around for like 3 hours yesterday waiting for Joe to wake up. So I thought, well, I've still got till...
You've still got 24 hours, so you've still got...
Yeah, it's 24 hours. I've got till 10 to 9. So I thought I'd get up early and get started. And Joe's just come down this morning. And what time is it?
7:30.
7:30. So it's 7:30 and I'm casting off. So I think I'm going to make it. I could hold it up, Joe, but I've got my pyjama bottoms on. But what I might do is get you in a minute. I'll get properly dressed and we'll go outside and hold it up because it's huge and I'm so just shocked how big it is. But yeah, we'll go and do that in a second. I'll just cast off the last few stitches.
Cool. Watch this. I'm gonna juggle.
So yeah, got it finished. But since we last filmed, I was going to go outside and hold it up and show you the full length, but
Hold it up and turn it round.
but we Atlas arrived, so Joe was busy with Atlas, so we didn't get a chance. So I've sewn it up, sewn up the sides, and there you go, it's done. Yeah, I don't know whether I might. I mean, I'd usually, if I do something like this, I'd usually sort of crochet. I mean, that doesn't need it, but I could crochet around the.
I don't think it would be Kitty's choice.
You don't think Kitty would want that, but I'll probably choose which side's best because it's pretty much reversible at the moment, and then just darn the ends in. But normally I'd put the ends in as we went along. I was thinking that the ends might show, but yeah. So you want to see the other side? So I ran out of the grey, I had a big ball of acrylic grey, so I ran out of that just there. So from there to there, there's no grey in it. It's all sort of brights. Yeah, I'm happy with that for a day. That was a good experiment to do. Good fun.
We're going to get Kitty in it next.
Yeah, we're going to go and try it on Kitty and see what she thinks.
And we're back. Hello.
And so here is the finished jumper.
Sorry, I've set it to my height, not my dad's.
So yeah, I'm bending down because Kitty set the camera.
I'm very short. Blame the knitting widow.
Yeah, there you go. So
stunning. To me, I think it's like Renaissance painting colours. Renaissance painting, what is it?
You said sort of like Monet or something.
But yeah. No, it's a mix.
The back is a lot more pink and colourful than the front. I sort of ran out of grey and then I sort of improvised from there.
It's nice. Do you go for a tone and then pick colours around it?
I really didn't pick colours hardly at all. I just kept knitting and just kept picking up the nearest thing. So yeah, so this is the first time that Kitty's tried it on, and as I say, I guessed at the size, and I'm really happy with the sizing of it.
Yeah, it looks
is it
perfect.
Oversized enough? It's not too.
I thought you could go a bit more oversized.
Yeah.
But I think this is completely wearable. I'd wear it definitely.
Let's show everyone the back.
It's a really lovely fit on me because it fits me perfectly here, and I think it kind of adds like a nice strong shoulder as well, which makes it look quite masculine at the same time, which is really, really
and
nice.
The armpits are good. You quite like the V because we were umming and ahhing
me and
Mum about a V or a round neck.
I think a V's in at the moment because everyone's got collars.
No.
Yeah, you literally got to stick it on.
Oh really?
People were wearing sweaters, stick on a collar. Just makes it look a bit more snazzy. Yeah, have you not seen it?
No, of course not.
I found that crazy. You know, like in Big Bang Theory, he sticks on the turtleneck.
No.
Yeah, like that. That look good with a turtleneck, Dad.
Yeah. So generally we're happy with that.
Yeah, I'm really happy.
Yeah.
I think you're showing all those TikTok girls up, Dad.
But the thing is, Kit, you could knit that. It's so simple to knit. Yeah, you could knit it.
Really?
Tell everyone how much you've knitted before.
When I was little.
Did you actually knit did I force you to knit?
Yeah, I learnt when I was little, but sewing's always been more my sort of thing.
Yeah.
I like to sew.
Yeah.
I was better at crochet. Sorry about that. I apologise.
Yeah, dark side.
Yeah,
the dark
sorry.
Side. But do you think you would ever have a go at something like that?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like at the time I probably wasn't as bothered, but now being vegan and being, you know, a lot more aware after having my kids, I feel like it's the next thing really. I'm not into fast fashion anymore. It's all vintage, and if I can hand make something, I will. So maybe I'll give it a go in the winter, Dad. Okay,
all right. I'm sure people
would like
to see that. Yeah, I'll line you up for that.
All right, go on then.
Because people want to see that.
You can watch me cry.
You won't. You'll be able to knit something like that. It's easy peasy. Yeah.
All right, if you say so.
Okay.
Aren't I lucky? Knitting man vest. Haha. They all want it, Dad. I'm wearing it.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what people say.
Go on, flatter him in the comments.
Thanks, Kit.
And follow him.
Okay.
He deserves it.
Okay. I'm going to go home and put all this video together now.
Fun. Best part.
Bye.
Bye.
Excellent. You got the flowers in? So, so that was an additional episode to the normal Knitting Man show, and I think talk about potentially giving you the pattern for that, but I want to get this video out, so I'm going to put the pattern for that vest, for Kitty's vest, in the next Knitting Man podcast, which will be Knitting Man 17 if you're looking for it. And now we're just going to leave you with some of Kitty's music, and see you next time. Thanks, bye.